Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football. Let's get started and talk about the loss. Another loss, of course, now to Everton following the loss at Old Trafford against Manchester United. That is now three losses in four games, including the Liverpool game. Of course, we did win against Newcastle, and that is the theme really of this season. We go on runs, and we had that 10-game unbeaten run, obviously, but at the end of the day, well, who were we really playing against? We beat Spurs comfortably. We beat Spurs 3-1. Great performance, fantastic performance on the day. But you look at that team, you look at the manager. They've now sacked that manager. They've brought in an Antonio Conte, a fantastic manager, as we all know, and so a struggling team is my point. What I'm trying to say, and we did beat Leicester. We beat Leicester away. It was an impressive win, 2-0. But I think really the story of that game was Ramsdale. Of course, obviously we scored two goals, two good goals, but it is a team win at the end of the day. So credit to the players and of course credit to the manager for the win. But this is a Leicester City team in 11th place. They're not in really in hot form, and we beat Burnley, we beat Norwich 1-0 each, and I have to say I'm really just, I was doubtful before. I've always been doubtful. I like being optimistic going into games. This game I was somewhat optimistic. It's like when Arsenal need a win, they never seem to they never seem to get it. They never seem to put it together. We needed a win against Manchester United. We needed a win against Everton. Absolutely, we needed a win, and now we need a win against Southampton. And if not, the pressure is just piling and piling. It could be four. It could be four losses. Out of five. Southampton are going to be right up for it. They love to play against Arsenal, and it just seems like whenever a team is struggling, like Everton. The Everton are no wins in 8 games. Two draws out of those, so 6 losses in 8 games, 2 draws. They come up against Arsenal, and they just. The last 25 minutes of the game, the whole game we looked shit, but those last 25 minutes we couldn't do anything right. The performance was shocking. I'm seriously, I couldn't. I was on Twitter yesterday interacting with some fans. I've actually just apologized to a guy I was talking to earlier because we were talking about Granit Xhaka covering the left back position and the yellow card he got. Something I'll touch on a little bit later on. So I actually just apologize to that guy because I was wrong. I was saying he wasn't covering that, or I don't even remember, man. There's just so much been going on, in Twitter when Arsenal loses, just the worst place to be. So I've actually held off on making the video until today. But yeah, looking back, this is an Everton team struggling, man, and they beat us. And I have to say, I sort of expected to lose, because when teams are doing poorly and not performing, not getting wins, not getting the points they need, and they come up against Arsenal, they always seem to win. And I don't know what that is. I thought we got rid of this softness, this I think Gary Neville was the one who said it. The softness about this team, and we went on this great run. Again, like I said earlier in the video, not coming up against the biggest teams, the baddest teams. And look what happens when we face those teams. Liverpool 4-0, Man City 5-0, Chelsea 2-0. We've lost 3-2 against United. These are the big teams. And we've lost every single one of them. Whether or not we got a point against United or won that game, it would still leave us losing 3 games against the teams that are fighting for the title. Chelsea, Liverpool, City, those are the teams. The challenges, the struggles, and getting a point away at Brighton, a point away at Burnley is you could say sometimes those are good points. But look, it's just I'm hurt, man. I really am seeing that performance, the spineless performance from some of those players. You know, it was just shocking. It was just a shocking performance. I'm just going to go through players now. Aaron Ramsdale, obviously not really. What could he really do against the two goals that were scored? Was technically beaten four times. The offsides that were given against Richarlison, they were offsides marginally, but offsides is offside, and they, Jesus. I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. Ramsdale's not at fault. I thought Tomiyasu had a good game. Probably our best defender on the day, at least in terms of defending. Of course, Kieran Tierney went forward, got an assist for the Odegaard goal. Looked dangerous. There's so much to touch on. I'm just looking at my notes. I'm going to try to keep this as organized as I can. Just talking about Tomiyasu, the Ben Godfrey challenge. I mean, he was all game doing this. The challenges he made on Bukayo Saka, and this face, just the raking on Tomiyasu's face. I mean, VAR look at it, they don't do anything about it. The players get away with this shit all the time. They know what they're doing. Gary Neville had admitted it. Jamie Carragher had mentioned that he's a lucky boy to be on the pitch at halftime. These are two top pros, been in the Premier League for years and years. Veterans, know everything there is to know about football, the professionalism, that goes on. And these little cheeky, he knew what he was doing. I mean, you have to. I've seen Everton fans admit it. I've seen other fans admit it. He looks at Tomiyasu and brings his foot down. And nobody does that. The guy's on the ground already. If he cared to avoid him, he would have jumped. He would have leaped. He would have fallen to the left or to the right. He knew what he was doing, and the fact that the VAR didn't do a thing about it, not even a yellow card. If it was a yellow card, I might have actually been even more upset, to tell you the truth, because it was so clear. It was so clear. I mean, I've said this in a couple tweets, actually. The commentator alongside Martin Tyler yesterday, I don't know who it is. I did a bit of research. I couldn't quite find out who it was. I don't think it was Lee Dixon. In fact, I know it wasn't Lee Dixon. Some people saying maybe it was Alan Shearer. A couple guys I was going back and forth with on Twitter. I don't think it was him either. NBCSN, so I don't know who commentated that game, but this guy had the biggest bias against Arsenal. Really, really, he did. It was painful to listen to, just irritating and aggravating hearing him commentate that game. And he said when Ben Godfrey made that challenge, he mentioned that he's not the type of player to do that sort of thing. So Granit Xhaka obviously has a reputation for brazen challenges and going in maybe when he shouldn't. And so if that was him, he would have been given a red card. I'm sure of it. Even if it didn't go to VAR, I think it would have been sure of it. But when you see the blood, the gash on Tomiyasu's face, I mean, at least you acknowledge it's dangerous play. At least you have to acknowledge that, whether it's intentional or not. Mike Dean doesn't want to put that on a player or accuse a player of doing that. I could see why, because it was a horrific challenge. It really, really was. And if he meant to do that, which it looked like he did, then it's disgusting from Ben Godfrey. Really, it is. And he was all over Bukayo Saka the whole game. A couple really bad challenges. I mean, I even thought that the one of those challenges on Saka could have been a red card, but not even a yellow. The guy didn't even get a yellow card. The whole game he didn't. And it was just a shocking game, honestly. The performance was horrible, and the referee was horrible, and the commentating from this guy, I don't know who he is, but it was just irritating to listen to. Ben White and Gabriel did all right. Ben White, a couple, he had a couple good blocks, and a really good challenge in the first half, actually, a good block. Gabriel did all right, nothing too spectacular. Kieran Tierney coming back into the side, looking dangerous, had an assist for the Odegaard goal, a really, really good goal from Odegaard. Really, really nice technical finish there from him. Nice to see him scoring more goals and getting on the score sheet. I was happy to see him in that starting lineup. Obviously, Emile Smith-Rowe is out, something with his groin, so hopefully he'll be back in as soon as possible, because Jesus Christ, we're lacking creativity without that young man in the side. Granit Xhaka broke up a breakaway actually in the first minute, so I've seen him always scapegoated. He's always scapegoated, but Granit Xhaka was not the problem today. I thought the foul that he gave away, the yellow card he got, was a tactical foul. And he was tired. I mean, this is a guy who hasn't played for 2 months, and he puts in a 90-minute shift. He was laboring. He was tired. I don't know why he wasn't taken off after the yellow card. I don't know why he wasn't taken off. I mean, Martinelli had to come off. I understand that he was injured, but to bring on Pepe, I mean, you could have brought in, excuse me, bring in Pepe, yeah, like that would like that would happen. But to bring on Nketiah, and again, I'll get into Nketiah because he didn't do bad. He didn't do badly. But you're gonna bring Nuno Tavares on. Why don't you just? I mean, we know he can attack. We know he can shoot with his right foot. He loves to get forward. Why don't you keep Kieran Tierney on the pitch? Keep him on the pitch. Take off Martinelli, put on Nuno Tavares. I don't think a lot of Arsenal fans would really say it's a defensive change, honestly. I'm not sure you would really hear that argument. Maybe I'm wrong. You can let me know in a comment if you'd like, or send me a tweet on Twitter. Of course, that's always in my description below the video, but I don't think it would have been a horrible change. But the look on Kieran Tierney's face when he was substituted, he couldn't believe it. And I've said this before. How long is Kieran Tierney going to stay at Arsenal? And where people talk about him being the next club captain, he has my vote for next club captain. But I mean, pulling him off like that, I mean, he's been back from his injury. He played brilliantly for Scotland in the international break a couple weeks ago. He's been back, no injuries, no knocks. Just hasn't played. Nuno Tavares has been playing well, keeping him out of the side, but I just don't understand that substitution from the manager. Thomas Partey had another really, really bad game, man. A really bad game. In fact, he lost the most duels out of any Arsenal player. So he gave the ball away, and he's in a really bad run of form. I don't know what the reasoning is. I don't know why that is. I mean, if you have a guess, again, leave me a comment or send me something on Twitter. He is a world-class player. He just hasn't hit the form at Arsenal. He's been plagued with injuries last season. He's had a couple this season. I don't know what it is. I can't quite figure Thomas Partey out, but coming up against Southampton, I was saying this on Twitter earlier today. I would like to see Ainsley Maitland-Niles come in to the side, and I think if you partner him alongside Albert Sambi-Lokonga, you would have a pretty good looking physical midfield up against Southampton. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, when he's come in, I thought he's done really well. He is a very physical player. He can play that through ball. He can get forward. He's his work at right back. We can see how well he is and how calm and tame he is defensively. So, But can you drop a player like Thomas Partey? Can you drop him? Aubameyang was dropped for this game, the right decision. So it's down to the manager, and he's shown time and time again that he can't make the right decisions, to change the game or to manage it. So it's really, we were stuck in a pickle, man, and I don't know really the way out. I mean, simple as that. Martinelli, a pretty good game from him. Bright sparks, always pressing, always challenging. Came off injured. I haven't heard anything yet as of late on that injury. So hopefully he's not out for anything long term, or he can be back playing for us soon. So I'm not quite sure what that is. I'm sure the news is out, but I haven't seen it myself. Odegaard, like I said, great goal. Kieran Tierney with the assist. Granit Xhaka with the little pass, a little pre-assist. So great goal from him. I thought overall he had a pretty good game. For the most part, I mean, it's just we're just all this possession, and it's just all sideways and backwards, and we really struggle to break down teams. And the fact that we're struggling to break down Everton, a struggling Everton, I don't know. The manager, it really comes down to him, and obviously the individual mistakes and the Nketiah miss and the Aubameyang shank at the end doesn't come down to the manager. They could have easily scored those goals. We could have been 2-0 up. Very difficult, different game. A very difficult lead, actually, to have 2-0. A very dangerous lead, especially away from home. But the tactics, everything, all that's down to the manager. And it is what it is, man. Bukayo Saka, decent game, couple chances maybe he could have taken, but the Arsenal players seemed shook. And like they couldn't quite figure their feet out. They didn't know what they could do. A lot of the times you see this fluid football from Arsenal, and they know, like any good player, like any good team, they know what they're going to do with the ball before they get it. And there was none of that yesterday. There was absolutely none of it. Like I said, he didn't do anything yesterday. Complete ghost. Really poor from Lacazette. He was so deep defensive defensively and just running back. I mean, almost in our 18-yard backs defending it. And again, I don't know if he's being asked to do that, if he feels he has to do that. I don't know what the reasoning is. It seemed like it could have been something that the manager asked, because when we did win the ball back and Lacazette was so far back, Martinelli did kind of creep into that center forward role, and but again, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what the manager's trying to do. But does anybody? I don't know. I talked about the substitutions: Nuno for KT and Kedia for Martinelli, and Aubameyang came off for Lacazette, obviously, and missed that chance. I mean, a player of his caliber, you have to be putting. You come off the bench cold, but so did Gabriel Martinelli the other day when he scored. I mean, he came off his second touch, he scored a goal, a brilliant goal actually. Way more difficult than the Aubameyang chance if he had put that away. Excuse me. So. Aubameyang in horrible form, Lacazette's in horrible form. We're playing like shit. I think if Lacazette would have had that opportunity, I think he probably would have scored that. I think if Martinelli had that opportunity, he would have scored. There's plenty of other players I would have liked that to drop to. I mean, even the dummy from Gabriel, he was on his own. He missed it. It wasn't even close. As soon as it hit, Pickford was celebrating like the game was over. Look, that's it from me. This is quite a long video. I'm going on 16 minutes here, so it was a bit ranty, but if you have stuck along this far, I do really appreciate it. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions or want to share your opinion with me, you can always do that in a comment below, of course, or hit me up on Twitter. Twitter is always in the link below. So, again, thanks very much for watching, guys. Southampton next. Say a prayer if you believe in all that stuff, but it's going to be a very, very difficult game against Southampton, and the West Ham game will be even more difficult. So again, thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you when I see you.